You've made dua for the same thing for months, maybe years. You raise your hands, you ask, you wait. Nothing changes. And somewhere deep down, a thought starts forming that you try to push away but can't completely ignore. Is Allah even listening? Here's what nobody tells you. Dua is not a vending machine. You don't insert good deeds, press a button, and collect your answer. There is an entire science to dua that the Prophet, peace be upon him, described in detail. And most Muslims are making dua at the lowest level without even knowing higher levels exist. There are 6 levels of dua. Each level determines how your dua reaches Allah, whether it gets accepted, and what happens when it does. Most Muslims spend their entire lives at level 1 or 2 wondering why nothing is changing. The ones whose duas move mountains are operating at level 5 and 6. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which level you're at, why your duas may be blocked right now, and precisely what to do to move up. Hit subscribe, like this video, and share it with a Muslim who has been making the same dua for years with no answer. Level 1. The dua of the lips only. This is Yusuf. He raises his hands after Salah every single day. His lips move, the words come out perfectly. He asks for rizq, for a good spouse, for his parents' health, for success in his exams, but his heart is somewhere else entirely. He's thinking about what he's going to eat after this. He's replaying a conversation from earlier. He finishes, wipes his face, and stands up. Dua complete. This is level 1. The dua of the lips only. The words were right, the timing was right, the posture was right, but the heart was completely absent. And here is the problem. Allah does not respond to a heart that is heedless and distracted. Level 2. The dua of need without preparation. Yusuf has an exam tomorrow. He's barely studied. It's 11 p.m. He suddenly remembers Allah exists and makes the longest, most desperate dua of his month. Ya Allah, please let me pass. Ya Allah, I really need this. Ya Allah, you know how hard things are right now. The desperation is real, the need is genuine. But Yusuf spent the last 3 weeks skipping Fajr, consuming haram content, and treating Salah like an inconvenience. And now he needs something urgently, so he comes to Allah like a customer returning to a shop he ignores until he needs something. This is level 2, dua of need without preparation. Now, Allah is Al-Karim, the most generous. He answers duas from people at this level. He is not a scoreboard. He gives even to those who ignore him because his mercy exceeds everything. But dua at this level is unstable. It comes and goes with desperation. When the crisis passes, Allah gets forgotten again until the next one. Ibn al-Qayyim wrote that the person who only remembers Allah in hardship is like a person who only waters a plant when it's dying. Sometimes it survives, but it never truly grows. The relationship between you and Allah is not built in moments of crisis. It is built in the ordinary moments when you didn't need anything, but you came anyway. Level 3. The dua of consistency without understanding. Now Yusuf has grown. He prays all 5 prayers. He makes dua regularly. Not just in crisis, he has a routine. After Fajr, after Maghrib, before sleeping. He is consistent. But he is making the same 3 duas in the same order every single day like a script he memorized and recites without thinking. Rizq, spouse, parents. Done. This is level 3. Consistency without understanding. Consistency is genuinely powerful. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said in Sahih Bukhari that the most beloved deeds to Allah are the most consistent ones, even if they are small. This applies to dua. Showing up every day matters enormously. But there is a ceiling at level 3. Because dua is not a ritual. It is a conversation. And a conversation where one person recites the same script every day, without listening, without reflection, without growth, is not really a conversation at all. At level 3, you are talking at Allah. Level 4 is when you begin talking to Allah. Level 4. The dua of presence and understanding. This is where dua begins to change. Yusuf starts learning the names of Allah. He learns that Al-Razak is the provider. So when he asks for rizq, he doesn't just say the word. No, he calls on Al-Razak specifically, understanding who he is addressing. He learns Al-Mujib, the one who responds every single time. Without exception, he holds on to that name while asking. He starts making dua in his own language, not just memorized Arabic phrases. He speaks to Allah like he is speaking to someone who actually hears him. Because he does, his heart begins arriving with his lips. This is level 4, presence and understanding. At this level, something shifts that is difficult to describe, but every Muslim who reaches it knows exactly what it feels like. Dua stops being a task and starts being a refuge. You don't make dua because you have to. You make dua because it is the only place where you feel completely heard. The Prophet, peace be upon him, described in Sahih Muslim that dua is the worship itself, not a part of worship. The worship, because in dua, the entire architecture of Tawheed is expressed. You are acknowledging that you need, that He provides, that you cannot and He can, that you are the servant and He is the Lord. Level 5, the dua of surrender. Most Muslims never reach level 5. Not because it requires extraordinary acts, but because it requires something most people are not willing to give. Complete surrender to whatever Allah decides. Yusuf has been making dua for a specific job for 8 months. He has done everything right. He prepared, he applied, he prayed istikhara, he gave sadaqah, he asked with presence and understanding. And the answer still hasn't come the way he wanted. Level 5 is the Muslim who continues making dua after 8 months, not because they are forcing Allah's hand, but because they trust completely that Allah's timing and Allah's decision is better than their own desire. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said in Sahih Bukhari, no Muslim makes a dua without one of 3 things happening. Either it is answered directly, or something bad is diverted from them in its place, or it is stored for them as reward on the Day of Judgment. Every single dua is answered, always, without exception. The level 5 Muslim knows this not just intellectually, but in their bones, so they are not anxious about the outcome. They make dua with full presence, full trust, and full release. They ask, and then they let go completely. Not because they stopped caring, but because they transferred the caring to the one who handles everything better than they ever could. Level 6. The dua of the mukhlis, the completely sincere. This is the highest level, and it is rare. At level 6, Yusuf no longer makes dua primarily for what he wants. He makes dua primarily for what Allah wants for him. It becomes, Ya Allah, give me whatever brings me closest to you, take from me whatever takes me away from you, even if what you take is what I love most. This is the dua of Ibrahim, peace be upon him, who asked Allah to make him and his children people of prayer. Not people of wealth or power or comfort. Prayer, closeness to Allah, that was the ask. This is the dua of the Prophet, peace be upon him himself. Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbak. O Allah, I ask you for your love. Not paradise first, not safety first. Love of Allah first, because the one who has that has everything else included. At level 6, dua is no longer a transaction. It is not even a conversation in the ordinary sense. It is the soul recognizing its origin and returning to it completely, asking only to be kept close to the source of everything. Ibn al-Qayyim described this station as the heart becoming so aligned with Allah's will that it begins to want what Allah wants before knowing what Allah wants. The dua and the qadr begin to move together rather than against each other. This is not a level achieved through a single decision. It is built over years of showing up at every previous level, of lips becoming hearts, of crisis becoming consistency, of consistency becoming presence, of presence becoming surrender, of surrender becoming pure sincerity. 6 levels, and every single one of them is still dua. Allah hears all of it.